Dun dun dun! Everybody, welcome back to BarTalk. BarTalk. If you can't tell, this is obviously Abigail in a different form.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. I am Abigail.
This is my brother. We are sitting here drinking some Alani New. Abigail is getting her shit together for the week because we are going away for the weekend. We're going out for Alana's birthday. We're going to Panama City Beach.
Yeah, with no invite.
Well, you don't have to come everywhere.
Okay.
So we're going to Panama City Beach for Alana's 20th birthday. We got a nice little Airbnb. We're going to get some fat weird cookies.
Mm-hmm. Go see Brad.
Yeah, go see Brad.
It's going to be, you're not going to recognize it. You're going to be like, whoa, they added this onto the building. Because last time I went there was a whole different section of the building. And I thought I was like in a certain part. And then he was like, do you know where you are? I was like, no.
Didn't they just add like a bunch of different equipment and stuff too?
Yeah, he got like a new thing because he's going into wholesale. Congrats, Brad. Shout out.
And
Brad. Then they added just like a different room. Like it's like probably like a couple thousand square feet.
Damn.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm excited to see it. I've sent a couple people his way already. I sent like 2 people that I run with, Mac and Rich, have already been there.
Yeah.
And then he literally texted us yesterday because Rich saw him. And
yeah, what a snitch, dude.
I know, what a snitch. Rich was like, oh yeah, he must have said something like, Tracy's going to be here this weekend. And Brad texted me, he's like, way to not tell me, you little slut.
Yeah, that's snitch shit. Yeah, we were going to tell you, Brad, but
yeah.
well, I'm not going because I didn't get an invite again.
So anyway, that's why my brother is here. So if you haven't met him yet and you haven't seen his last podcast with us, you should totally go check it out. Yes. But this is Cornelius Masterson.
Hello.
And we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A today because my brother and I, both athletes, both trainers, both people in the fitness industry.
Different style of training.
Definitely a different style of training, for sure. And I think we're just going to do a little Q&A action so that people kind of get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah, I posted the Q&A really late at night though. So we got some questions, pretty good questions.
Yeah, I got some good ones too, actually. One of them is going to be a little, I don't know, it can go in 2 different directions if you want to get into some bullshit or if you don't want to get into some bullshit. So
yeah, we can get into some bullshit.
All right, so.
You going first?
Yeah. Okay, let me go first because I got to get this one out of the way.
All right, first, did you try this?
Yeah, it's actually not that bad.
I told you it's not bad. I got a shipment from Alani New. I feel like I'm streaming. I need it.
You are screaming into the microphone.
All right. So I got a shipment in from Alani New, and I came out the house, and they were like, "Grace, can you throw these away?" I was like, "What? They're my Alani News."
Okay, no.
Whole box.
No. Back up. The Alani. First of all, Alani New. Who runs Alani New?
Hayden Strider and Katie Hearn.
Right. Okay. So Katie Hearn Fit, I think most people probably know.
And their husband Hayden.
Yeah. Okay. So Katie Hearn Fit, if you don't know her, she's kind of like well known for macro calculators. She's got her own gym. She's an online personal trainer, influencer, whatever. She has this brand called Alani New, and they have energy drinks, they have pre-workout, they have protein shakes and stuff like that. And I'm really sorry, but we got them at the gym, and the protein shakes like fucking suck. They're such a waste of $5 at the gym.
Protein, like the pre-made protein shakes?
Yeah, the pre-made ones. And like they're just so freaking terrible.
What kind was it? You know?
All I know is it sucks.
Because the one we have here, Munchies, is pretty good. It tastes like a blended up chocolate pretzel.
I don't know. I'm not like, I would just rather make my own protein shake.
Yeah.
You know, instead of like the lean bodies out there, I would just rather make my own shit so I know it's in it. Mm-hmm. And it tasted like absolute ass. So I was like, don't get any of that stuff shipped to our house. Not that we're ungrateful for free product, but I was like, please don't get any of that shit shipped to our house.
I like them.
These are actually not that bad.
I like everything.
This is an energy drink.
Only thing I didn't like was Redcon 1 sent me sour cream apple kind. Sour drinks is just like, why?
Yeah, why?
It makes your face go like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just why?
Why?
I don't know. I'm not about it. Okay, so let me get this one out of the way.
Okay.
Because there is somebody that every single time, and I don't know, I mean, I could show you who they are, but every single time I post a picture of my brother or say something about my brother on Instagram, so fucking weird, or do a Q&A.
Is it about my feet?
Always about your feet.
I know exactly who it is.
Always stories about your feet. They're like, can you send me a picture of Cornelius's feet? Or like,
Dude.
does Cornelius take care of his toenails? And I never respond because it's the weirdest shit.
Bro, I got the fucking question.
And my brother has like, you know, he's got a very large following on TikTok and on Instagram and stuff. So like the weirdest people come out of the woodwork. So the first question I get is, should guys and does Cornelius get pedicures?
Oh my gosh, I know exactly who it is. I'm not gonna blast him, but is it that fucking person?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh my, yo, you should see my DMs. It's flooded with that stuff.
Is it the same? Does he ask the same stuff?
Well, it's like, yeah, it's like, what size shoe are you? Or like, how are your feet today? Or like, do you get pedicures? Can you show me it? It's like, listen, I'm okay.
Why?
Like, I'm okay with some people have some certain fetishes, but it's been constant. I think had to be since like 20.
No, this has been forever.
2017, 2018. Consistent every fucking day.
This is like, and it's just so funny because I guess, well, obviously he follows me to put on my poll, but every single time I put, like, we went to the beach or took a boat out for Father's Day this past weekend. And like, I posted a picture of me and my family. And he just replied to my story and was like, don't see Cornelius's feet in the picture. And I was like, this guy's a fucking
Yeah, he wanted it. But yes, I get pedicures sometimes. My father actually put me on. Dad loves pedicures.
Yeah, because Dad's got pretty gnarly feet.
Yeah.
Dad has been wearing boots for a really long time.
Yeah, really long time. But they gotten better. Ever since he got him pedicures, they gotten better.
Florida looks good on him.
Yeah. It's
Florida
crazy. But pedicures are so like therapeutic, I guess. Except, let me tell you the worst part about a pedicure. And I know no one sticks up for it. You know, like when the start of the pedicure, when they're like, is the water too hot? And they put your feet in this scorching water, and you're just sitting there like, no.
You're supposed to pretend like everything's okay.
Yeah, pretend like everything's happening, but you're like scratching your knee or pulling your shorts like, this is so hot. I've never witnessed or seen someone be like, oh, can you actually like drain that and turn it down? Because they have to drain all the water. It's not like,
can you actually not kill me right now?
Yeah, can you like not? I've never seen anyone. So that's like the worst part. And then the fucking cheese scraper.
Oh, like when they get into your heels and they're just scraping.
Sometimes I just want to be like, no, we can't. We don't have to do that today.
No,
like we don't have to do that today because that is eerie. That's an eerie feeling.
So yeah, okay. So Corn does get pedicures for the person that we're talking about that's probably listening to this. You're kind of a weirdo, but to each their own, I guess.
No pictures, $100.
Yeah, only $100 for the feet pics.
That's
all right, you
bad.
go.
Oh,
throw me one.
Okay. Face ID. Okay.
Let me delete these as we go.
Someone said, would you go on Survivor?
I don't think I would survive.
Survivor?
Oh, yeah, wait. I was thinking about Naked and Afraid for some reason.
Oh.
Survivor. Oh, yes. Nah.
Really?
Okay.
How long is it? I can't do time. If it's like a month, no shot. I'll do like 2 weeks. I'll do like a week,
2
days.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Like month shows that you have to be like, yeah, or like Naked and Afraid, you have to be on here for 60 days.
Yeah. Dude, okay, listen. So Dad was driving me in the fucking Mazda Miata on the way home. And dude, it was fucking pouring rain, first of all. So like, thanks for letting me drive with him.
You wanted to.
No, I did not. He asked me to do that.
Whoa, was I gonna let you drive alone?
Well, yeah, if it was raining out, you were driving in front of us in your car.
Yeah. And
we were in a Mazda Miata. Anyway, we were driving from my parents' house to my house. And there's like these things. My dad was a truck driver because he used to own a moving company.
Professional truck driver.
And so there's these things, and I don't know exactly what they're called, but basically like some 18-wheelers, depending on how high or low they are to the ground, they have like this grate that goes from the front wheel to the back wheel. And literally the reason for that is because of the draft that it causes, and smaller vehicles can get sucked underneath of it. And my dad has this fucking Mazda Miata from one of his best friends, and it was pouring rain, and my dad's living his best life. So he's like, Didi, why don't you just come with me in the Mazda Miata? And I had a fucking heart attack because we were riding on the ground, basically on 10, and all of these fucking huge 18-wheelers are going by us. And all I keep thinking of is Survivor, that they had to do that in those episodes where they make you drive underneath of that.
That's not Survivor.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. That was Joe Rogan's Fear Factor.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that one either. Well, then what's Survivor?
Survivor is like you're grouped up with teams, and then you have to do these challenges, like stand on a fucking
yeah, I would do that.
Like balance yourself for a certain amount of time,
yeah,
and someone falls, and then you eliminate some people. That's Fear Factor.
Okay,
Fear Factor was ratchet.
I would not do Fear Factor, but I definitely would do Survivor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The reverse.
You know,
I
thought you were gonna say. Remember that movie, Christmas something? Like it's Christmas Day. I don't know. It was like an old comedy when like they fucking went underneath the 18-wheeler.
No.
It's a Christmas Miracle. It's Christmas something Christmas.
Something Christmas.
Yeah, and they like were riding in the small car, and then they were like and they went underneath.
That shit is scary. That's some real stuff. Like don't let my dad drive.
I don't think there's 18-wheelers that are that high that you can actually go under.
Yeah, well, whatever.
That would be pretty
anyway,
cool.
Fear Factor off the list. Survivor on the list.
Yeah, Naked and Afraid gotta go.
Yeah, Naked
actually,
and Afraid's
$1,000 for a day. I'll do 5 days.
Yeah.
Easy 5.
But you see them in the heat,
Easy
and then
5
they do
bands.
like they get all eaten by the bugs and stuff like that, and like they got.
No, I don't do bugs.
You ever see the Naked and Afraid episode where they see like after the fact, and this girl's got like all of these welts down her arm, like from her fingertips all the way up to her ears because she was just covered in bug bites.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I could.
Do you know?
That.
Shout out to the camera crews.
Yeah,
the cameramen.
They got made.
They are out there. Like you don't realize sometimes like that night vision setup cameras, but they're setting up the cameras out there.
Mm.
They're out there, and then the medical team always has to be on standby.
Yeah,
I know they're in like some AC conditioned van probably out there, but like, dude, they're out there.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not about that life. All right, let's see. Let's do one that's okay. I'm gonna do one of the ones that's kind of like the biggest one.
Okay.
Maybe because it depends on how you want to take this. It says, why did you and Corn move to Florida?
So many reasons. Oh my gosh.
It says, why did you and Corn move to Florida? Okay,
There's
so
so many reasons.
let's
We can go over the general reason why.
Let's back it up in reverse, Terry. There's many reasons why we moved to Florida. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do you want to like actually...
So there's like I guess there's a reason for me why I moved out of Florida, but then there was addition stuff that happened to us that it was just like, okay, you should get out of Jersey.
It's like the universe was kind of telling us that it was time that not just me and my brother, but me, my brother, my mom, and my dad needed to get out of New Jersey. Yeah. Just from like a chain of bad events over the course of like a couple years. Maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe
well, my take was so first, where we grew up, if you don't leave that area, you will stay there forever. Like I remember going to high school and it would just be like my history teacher taught my friend's mom.
Yeah.
Or like just everybody knows each other and everybody does the same thing. Either they get a job, they raise a family there, then they go to freaking elementary school where we went, and then they go to our high school, and the next thing you know, they go to like either they attempt to go to an out-of-state college and they last maybe 3 months to a year, and then they go back to our local college or they go to a community college.
Yep.
Then no one does really anything with their degrees. They kind of get sucked up with like restaurant life or casinos or Lang City or on the boardwalk or at the beach clubs, and they're just so stuck in that time literally just passes and flies, and the next thing you know, you're like 30 years old, and then you have a kid, and then you want to raise them there because everyone's there. Yep. So it's literally just like this big ass loop. So that's like the main reason why I was like, listen, I have too much I want to live for. Like my life is this short. I can't stay here. Yeah. I'm just going to be doing the same thing every day, waking up and going to the beach or go like the same thing. So
yeah. So
that's like why, the biggest reason for me.
Yeah. I mean, not kind of on the same train too. Like I obviously moved out because I was in North Carolina. Actually, like a lot of people don't know because I don't talk about it very often, but I lived in North Carolina for a period of time, which Cornelius dropped out of college because it wasn't what he wanted to do. Dropped out of Stockton.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, like exactly. He tried and he was like, fuck this. Everybody's staying in that little hamster wheel of, AC life. And he came and lived with me in North Carolina for a couple of years. But I am moved because Stefano was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So that's why we ended up there. And then we ended up in Florida because we got stationed here for recruiting duty. Stefano got stationed.
Yeah, I remember I was living in New Jersey and I was streaming and on Twitch, and Stefano came into my chat and said he got his new orders or something, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're going to Florida.
Dude.
Listen, I was thinking Miami. I was thinking fucking Fort Lauderdale. I was thinking like somewhere by the beach. Next thing he comes in, he goes, we're going to Tallahassee, Florida.
We both said, I said,
where is Tallahassee? I was like, I looked it up. It was the capital.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, bet. We're going to be by a beach. It's going to be beautiful. We're an hour and a half away from a beach. two and a half hours away from a clear beach. We're not in Florida. We're in Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice. We adapted, but like at first, coming from like 5 minutes from the beach, and in North Carolina when we can go on the beach on bays or like 20 minutes, to come into Tallahassee, that's like, all right, where's the water? Oh.
You gotta pack a bag.
Yeah, you gotta pack a bag. It's like, oh, okay.
Like we grew up with like sandy floors. Like remember you could go grocery shopping in Margate and it was like sandy floors. Like
no
sandy
shirts,
floors. Yep. Sandy floors in the
people
Wawas.
not wearing shoes.
Yep, no shirts, no shoes.
Yeah.
Like we just grew up in a place that was so easy to get to places, and like we really took it for granted because as soon as we moved here, everybody was like, yeah, let's go to St. George. And me and Cornelius are like, no.
Like what? We're driving 2 hours to a beach? Because all I think about is we used to go to the beach from like 9 a.m. to 5.
Oh my God.
Like we were at the beach all day. Like
all
you
day.
get subs at the beach. The yum yum man comes and you get yum yum.
Oh my God.
But then here it's like, oh, you want to go to the beach? All right, let's plan the day before. Let's wake up at 7 a.m., get to the beach at 9, spend there until about 5, and next thing you know, you have to drive 2 hours home.
And not to mention
in sandy ass wet clothes.
Yep. And not to mention that where Tallahassee is to get to the nice beaches besides St. George, it's like right before the cusp. Let's say you go to PCB, you're an hour behind.
Oh yeah.
And that we've been in Tallahassee for like 5 years now, and that shit still blows my mind. I'm like, I cannot believe I have to plan to be an hour behind to come home to be an hour ahead. Like it just
it's ridiculous.
It fucks everything up.
And the drives in Florida too aren't fun. Like there's no scenery. You're driving on I-10 or I-75 with just grass fields, and you just get in like this daze, and it takes forever. It's not like you're driving around, you see like buildings or different sceneries or places you can stop to eat or stuff like that. It's literally like you're driving through fucking fields and you're just going. Yeah. And the next thing you know, something pops up. You're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
So basically like, so Corn was in this like hamster wheel. I ended up getting stationed here, which Corn was moving with me or was already living with me. We get stationed here and we're like, all right, fuck, we have to go. Mm-hmm. And in the course of like the couple years, there was like some very big shit, which I don't know, it's up to you if you want to go through it. But there's a couple very big events that happened in our lives that basically the universe was like, you are getting put in a position where you have to move away from New Jersey and you better take it or you're going to suffer. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, it just so happened that my parents, who were trying to sell their house, got an offer on their house. And it actually like wasn't even an offer on their house. It was like a legitimate sign. Somebody came and had a handwritten letter that they put in their mailbox and was like, we love your home so much. You know, my daughter is disabled and it's the perfect house for her. And, you know, like all of these things about like how we kept it so well. And it's an old house, but it's got character and whatever. And they gave this note to my parents. And it just so happened that it was like, okay, we got to take this and we got to run with it. So in the course of 2 weeks, maybe.
It was fast.
It was insane. So in the course of 2 weeks, I got orders to move here. Me and Cornelius drove to Tallahassee by ourselves to meet my aunt to find an apartment. So we drove 12 hours to Tallahassee. We drove back. We packed up all of our stuff. We drove to New Jersey and back to get the rest of my brother's stuff because the Marine Corps was moving us and it was free. So obviously we would do that. Then we drove from North Carolina back down to Tallahassee.
While I had a whole thing of bleach that spilt like an hour into the drive, and I'm
accidentally high.
Literally cook brained for 11 hours. Had no idea why. I don't
throwing up.
Like gagging. Literally the longest time, and I was like, oh, this is what fell in my car. And you guys were like, oh wow, that's bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
So we drive to Tallahassee, drop my stuff off. Then we go from Tallahassee, we drive to New Jersey. This is like in the course of 5 days, mind you.
Oh my gosh.
Drive to New Jersey. pack up my whole parents' house,
Whole
which
house.
was insane.
We
My
brought
parents'
everything.
Childhood home. We brought everything. They made me drive a Dodge Ram with a giant U-Haul in the back of it. My dad drove a U-Haul in a car, and we drove
with the tarp on the fucking green van.
Oh man, we looked terrible. I took out so many curbs, y'all don't even know.
You need to get do you have pictures of the move? You should try to put pictures up so they can see. It was bad.
It was so, like, if you guys know my family better, like, we're already chaotic as fuck, but like this was just so bad. So anyway, we pack up my whole parents' house, and then we drive from New Jersey all the way down to Tampa to move my parents in and back. And so in the course of 2 weeks, we literally drove basically up and down the East Coast.
It was ridiculous.
Multiple
I
times.
was so tired from moving. I shit you not. I don't remember the drive from New Jersey to Florida. I remember packing up the stuff, saying that we were going. I fell asleep until we stopped at the first hotel. And then I guess I fell asleep at the hotel, and then we were ready. And then we were going to Florida.
Oh my
and then
God.
I fell asleep. Like, I was just so exhausted and just so tired of doing this that I think my body was just like, all right.
Just on reject. Yeah, it was
went.
pretty crazy. Maybe one day we'll get into like specifics and stuff, but for right now, let's just say the earth told us, the universe told us that the Masterson family had to get out. And one thing I will say to close like this question, Florida has never looked like better because my parents are fucking glowing.
Oh, thriving.
Like our parents are literally like the best version of themselves they have, even though, you know, we all go through our shit, but like they are the absolute best version of themselves right now. Absolutely. And sometimes I feel like they don't see it. So when they watch this, like, shout out mom and dad when y'all watch this.
Y'all are killing it.
You guys look amazing. Florida looks good on you.
Not even a 180, 360 of Jersey.
Looks amazing on them. All right, go.
All right.
Florida's nice. We
but you've been here for 5 years. I've only been here for 3.
Yeah, that's true. But
because I went.
Well, you went to Miami.
Here. Well, I went back to New Jersey.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah.
I went fucking. Tracy hated that. Tracy was like, "You're going back." I was like, but this was a point where I kind of needed to because I was in such a low rut that like I had no idea what I was doing. Like obviously, there was like no one here. One, I don't really have friends. I have people I talk to at the gym, but I mean, still to this day, I don't have friends.
Yeah.
I don't have someone. Well, I have friends, but now they like moved away. But like I kind of just do my thing, and it got to a point where I just had no idea what to do. So I needed to go back. Went back to Jersey, moved to Miami, moved to Denver, Colorado, and then fucking just shit happens, and then the next thing you know, I was like literally helping Tracy unpack for her house and never left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's okay.
Thank God you had a 4 bedroom.
So I'll backtrack and tell this story really fast. So basically that whole shenanigans happened where we like moved to Florida, right? A couple years later, we end up buying this house that we're now sitting in. And Cornelius is in Colorado, just getting high and doing his thing. And he's like, hello, this is like not going anywhere. Like I am just high all the time. And he's like, I need to work. And like people around me are not that like motivating right now to them. He was going through some shit with work. And so I was moving into this house. And I said, well, why don't you come help me move into this house? Cornelius comes and moves into this house.
With like $300 in my bank account.
Yeah, like next to no money. And comes into this house. And he's like, this is a really nice house. And he was supposed to fly out the day after. So we go out. We have a fun time. We take him to the bars in College Town. And then we go to breakfast. I'll never forget. It was with Josh and Stefano and you. And we're sitting at breakfast and my brother looks like really upset. And I'm like, bud, what's going on? And he's like, I don't want to go home. And I was like, okay, well, why don't we extend your ticket? Like this is kind of like COVID-esque time. So like they're not going to give a shit. Maybe they'll give you a year to reuse it. Let's just extend your ticket. You could just stay with me for the week. He's like, okay. We extend his ticket. They gave you
for a year.
And then a week later, he was like, man, he's like, I think I like it here. Like, I really don't want to go back to Colorado. And I looked at him and was like, you want to move in?
Yeah.
And he was like, seriously, you want me to move in? I'll ship my stuff. Like, you want me to move in? And we were like, yeah. And now he's been with me for 3 years.
Yeah. Came with nothing. Yeah. Sorry, I had to let y'all deal with that. But I came with nothing.
Yeah. Nothing.
Like, literally nothing. The only thing that came back was one of our boys that was living with us came back to Tallahassee too or something. And he brought back like
Your bed sheets.
Yeah, like my bed sheets and some stuff from my room, but I left the bed, I left bed frame, dresser, my whole PS4, and you guys know I'm a gamer. My BenQ monitor that I had for 5 years that I love, I just left it all.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. But that's when I went to PCB. When I went to Panama City Beach and met Brad for the first time, that's what also kind of was like, yeah, Florida's definitely home. Like you can do this. Like I was back at the beach.
Yeah.
I was chilling. It was hot.
It's like Florida for us is like home away from home, but not New Jersey.
Yeah.
So it's just
every time we talk shit about Jersey, but every time we go back to Jersey, it literally feels like we've been on a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it, but when we went to Atlantic City and for like your stuff.
Oh, for DECA.
Mm-hmm. And we were sitting in the casino and I was just like with all my friends. And I like was talking to him. I was like, dude, it just feels like I've been on like this 5-year vacation.
Yeah.
And now I'm home. Yeah. But then I'm leaving. But it was like you're on vacation, you came home, but you want to leave.
Yeah. And I remember the last day you were there, you looked at me and you were like, Trey, we gotta leave.
Yeah.
We were like, we can't stay here forever.
Oh my gosh. I only can stay there for like a week. I'm actually going back there October for Josh's powerlifting meets.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that's
Josh
huge.
is a friend of his. It's in a powerlifting meet.
Yeah,
that he's been helping him with. Cool. Good.
Yeah, which is dope. He's been doing really well too. So I'm excited. It's so cool just to see your friends that like when they kind of get into something that you're in. Obviously, it's not bodybuilding or stuff, but then they start sending you updates, and then you look back and it's like he's been sending me updates for the last like 2 years. So then you go back in the messages and it was like, this is when he first squad. Now look where they're at.
Yeah.
And then
now you finally see him in a meet.
Yeah,
that's gonna be so fun.
It's cool.
That's gonna be fun. All right, hit me with one.
One. Can we just talk? Your dogs are still barking.
Whatever. They can't hear him.
45 minutes.
They can't hear him.
That's what's impressive.
If you keep screaming in that microphone, it's gonna be really hard to edit. So back the fuck up.
Got turned down.
Okay.
All right.
You gotta tell them to pick one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what's your biggest hurdle staying consistent with social media?
You looking at me for that? It's your job. It's my job too, I guess.
It is my job. Biggest hurdle is kind of just like always creating a schedule. I think, but it sounds so like, oh, it's so easy. But like, I've been doing this since 2016, and to wake up every single day. One, social media, obviously you want to get the best engagement. I know it sounds weird to say, but you want to grow a family, and the only way you can grow a community is if you post very good content that people want to stay like engaged with and want to know more of your life. But then they want to know what's going on in your life. They want to know what you're doing every single day. They want you to come up with brands. They want to be a part of your brand. So you want to just continue to please people. The easiest thing is just like be yourself, but post what you want to post. But then you just get in your mindset. It's like for example, I live stream like every day. If I miss like 1 day of live streaming or even 2 days of live streaming, it feels like I missed a week's worth of work because you're not engaging with your community or talking to them. And it kind of feels like they're going to start to forget about you.
Yeah.
So like always creating a schedule, always coming up with new ideas, expanding your brand, and kind of just like making it your job. But if you can stay on a consistent schedule with no hurdles, continue to do what you're doing, always upgrade your content, that's where you want to be. But like the biggest struggle with staying consistent is getting to that point, because numbers are going to start to get into your head. If you've been posting for 3 years and your engagement's not going up, or you've been halted at the same amount of likes, you're kind of just like, what am I doing?
You're like, what's the point?
Like, what's the point? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
But it's more of just like an audience isn't being reached at that time, or you can have one video go viral and next thing you know, your brand is something. So it's like,
you got to take the chance.
Yeah, you have to take the chance and just stay consistent with it.
Yeah. And like for us, like even on the Momentum page, like it's really easy to get lost because you kind of want to, like he said before, like people want to know your personal life because they want to know that you're not just like in it for the money. So anyway, like
your
I was
tattoo
saying,
looks so sick.
Thanks.
It pisses me off on how you got it and I didn't get mine done.
Well, I'm going to go back because I got to get this filled in and I got to get another flower here.
But now it ears me out, this part, bro.
Oh my God, it hurts so bad.
Yeah, this part I can just imagine, like right
so
here.
Yeah.
I want to get this done. that probably didn't hurt at all.
No, this was cool. This was
that probably was fucking fine. I want to
yeah.
get this done, but I just know by the wrist and by the elbow, it's just like, But I want to get it done. It's just I feel like I don't know, and I love how he did it around your tats, and it's kind of like blending in.
So good. That's why I'm gonna get another flower or like some fill it in with some flowers down here or leaves or something, and then these darker ones he's gonna put around here and fill it in. So, all right. Anyway, what I was saying was, for me, like especially for like momentum, is people want to know that you're a regular human being, and like sometimes it's just so taxing to be like the other day I woke up in the grass and like literally Rich was like standing over me and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? But I just so happened to be taking a nap in the grass. And it's one of those things that I want to document because it's a part of my life. And it's like, these are the things that I love to do and that I like, being outside. And that's like how I find gratitude. But then it's like, ugh, I got to set up my camera and I got to fucking film it. And then it looks so unnatural. And it's like, but then you just have to like pull yourself out of that mindset of like, it looks so unnatural because nobody sees the behind the scenes shit. Like nobody thinks about that.
I mean, that's why it's weird enough filming in the gym for me. Like I feel so out of touch, like bringing in a tripod, setting up the tripod, just like filming myself. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like, just so
like sometimes awkward. I wonder if people think about that. Like because I'm a creator. So I like see other people's content and I'm like, damn, that must have sucked to set up.
Yeah. But then you think, then you see it and it's just like, oh, so many people are doing it. Like I didn't realize how many people post like film themselves at Momentum now.
Oh my god, so many.
Like it's like so I thought it was like super awkward and kind of stuff, but then there's people just like filming themselves. Like you see them on social media, you're like, oh shit, they go to Momentum, and it's just
and it's actually like. And because we're creators, it's like I encourage people to film themselves and take pictures all the time because in a year from now, you're going to look back on it and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was doing last year. Or like, oh my God, my content got so much better. Oh my God, like I'm so much more motivated to make better content and do these things.
There was a video that you posted like a throwback video. Oh, it was you standing on, the medicine ball that's like a half medicine ball, half something, and you kick that water bottle.
Yes.
Did you see the difference of your like physique and build there than now?
Yeah.
That was like blew my fucking mind. I was like, that's Tracy. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. You should do a transformation of like that, of like doing it again, but maybe wearing it's ridiculous.
Can you close that, by the way? Sorry. And you need to take your headphones off. I need you to close that door. My bad.
Intermission.
Oh my God, I so should though. Damn, I did realize that, but I just kind of posted it as like a throwback type of thing. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you a question here, okay? It says, if you didn't have to work and money wasn't an issue, what would you do with your time?
Strip. I'm just kidding. What would I do if money wasn't an issue?
Yeah, what would you do?
Travel.
Oh my God, I would say the same thing.
I would
travel everywhere.
I want to go to Egypt so bad. I have a friend, his name is Omar. And I don't want to get into his business, but I met him in Colorado. He's so cool, so down to earth. And he said that like if we go to Egypt, he can hook us up. Like go to the coolest restaurants, like show us the best sceneries, like all this stuff. And I was just like, dude, if tickets weren't the way they are and traveling wasn't the way it is right now, I would be there. If I didn't have to worry about work or obviously like training or keeping up with my shit, I would go to Egypt and I would go like somewhere tropical. I know Bali sounds so cliche, but I want to go to Bali.
No, I would love to.
I want to go to like Thailand. I want to go to Tokyo. Mm-hmm. Someone told me that it's like, I don't know, I forget which other part of the world it was, but it was like Tokyo's futuristic, the US is like present, and then Egypt's is like back in the day. Ooh. But I heard that like Tokyo is another level. Is like another level of futuristic stuff. Yeah,
I'm like that's exactly how I am. Like I just want to. I think about it all the time. I actually texted Alana the other day. I think I texted Alana and Mac maybe, and I was like, for my 30th birthday next year.
You turn 30.
Oh my god! I know. I turn 30 next year. It's so. Okay. So anyway, when I turn 30 next year, I want to travel cross country. And I want to stop at just a bunch of different places and eat good food and like vibe out and just see like how different people live in different states and like maybe if that means like renting an RV and going one direction and then flying back, or flying across the country and then driving back, like, but I want to take the time. Like, I will literally take 2 weeks off to just fucking drive across the country and come back.
Yeah, but
because
2
I
weeks is such a short amount of time.
I know, but like, okay, you get what you can take, right? So like, I would rather take 2 weeks or 3 weeks off for a fucking month and just do that and be able to say I did it and experience all different stuff and then come back to real life. Like,
no, yeah, absolutely.
You know, I would love to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I would love to. I would love to just know that, like, yeah, I have no really responsibilities and I could just do this and not come home to any stress. And just
well, yeah, if money and all that wasn't an issue, shit, I'd be traveling all the time. You would never catch me dead in the same place twice.
We had this conversation the other day. It just blows my mind of how much money some people have. Like when we were talking about yachts, I saw a video. It was like, this is how much it cost me my yacht per month. And it was like, a couple $100,000. Yeah. I was like, you're spending a couple $100,000 a month on a boat. Like what? Like that's just ridiculous.
I don't know. Money ruins all things. So if we didn't have money, Corn and I would be traveling the damn world.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely be traveling.
All right, I got a couple more. Give me one.
Oh, me?
Hit me with it.
Oh. What's the news on the neighbors who had the fire? Did you talk about that?
No. So the other day, this was wild. Like, talk about being absolutely blessed. Okay. Well, for us, unfortunately, not for my neighbors. But so like I'm sitting in my living room and I hear like some stuff going on, and I'm very like, this one time Cornelius almost set her house on fire. I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay. So we're very aware that like the smell of fire is around. He almost set my house on fire because he threw something that was lit in a trash bag.
In the trash bag got on fire.
In the trash bag got on fire.
It was the most unfortunate events ever.
In my
It was definitely
garage.
not my fault. In this room.
It was 100% his fault.
In this room.
It was right here. It was actually right here.
Actually, if we pick up this rug, there's a bird thing about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's actually right here. So safe to say, Corn's never allowed to smoke in my house ever again. So anyway, the smell of like fire candles on is like very apparent. And like I'm sitting in my living room and I didn't smell anything, but I like heard like crackling going on. And I was just like, whatever. Maybe it's just the dogs playing with a water bottle or something because they, get into some shit. And then like time went by and then Nero started barking and then whatever. And then out of nowhere, we're like in the bedroom and I hear this serious like loud bang. And the dogs start going crazy. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And so I wake Stefan up. I'm like, Steph, someone's breaking into our house. And my backside of my house, the windows are like very open and you can see directly into our neighbor's yard. Like our backyards butt up against each other. We share the same fence. And I was like, Steph, somebody's trying to break in. And so he like gets up and he walks out and just like, he was like, holy shit. And I walked out and my house was just like red because it was so lit from the fire that was happening in like my backyard basically. So I go and I grab Cornelius and I'm like, dude.
I'm streaming too, by the way.
Yeah, he's streaming. He's live streaming. I was like, the fucking house is on fire. Yeah. And Cornelius is like, what? But it wasn't really our house. My neighbor's house was engulfed in flames.
So sad.
So sad. Like engulfed in flames. Like when I tell you, but it was wild because like you couldn't smell it. And I don't know why. Which was
really weird.
But like the entire house was engulfed in flames. So anyway, we called 911 and we're the first people to call 911. Like they are asking us all these questions or like, is anybody there? We're like, we have no idea. It took them like it was the longest 10 minutes of our lives.
Yeah, like 10 to 15 minutes. And they're only like 3 minutes away.
Yeah, they're only like a couple miles away. And so I don't know why it took them so long, but the longest 10 minutes of our lives. And like, obviously we can't do anything about it. So I just am looking over our yard and our yard shares this oak tree. And there's all of these trees that just go over the backyard. Like I have a giant oak tree in our house. He has one, very large, tall bushes. And all I kept thinking is like, if there's one gust of wind, we're screwed.
Oh, everything's catching on fire.
I was like, holy shit. And I'm like holding my breath like this. We're staring at this massive house fire and we can't do anything about it. And it's in my backyard. And so we're all looking at each other like, what the fuck do we do?
Sad to say, but it was the perfect day
to
have a fire like that. Because like she said, if there was wind or just like the weather that we've been having, it could have caught on to the trees by the fences and then it could have hooked onto our tree. And it was a spreading fire. It wasn't it was not a controlled. It was
not a controlled.
You would have like no idea what that fire wanted to do.
Yeah. So long story short, the guy's electric vehicle that he was charging, set off a fuse, and he actually collected toy cars and like used to work on them and stuff. So there was a bunch of batteries in his garage. So the electric vehicle caught on fire, which in turn caught the cars and all of the stuff that was on fire, and it blew up his house.
Yeah, and it spread into his house.
Yeah, like their house is gone.
And the thing is, I don't think he knew what was happening because it was in like the back of the house. Like when you see where we are, he's in our backyard, so you can see like how messed up it is. But if you go around the street and you look at the front of the house, it kind of looks like, I mean, there's damage, but it doesn't look like anything really happened.
Yeah.
So people probably couldn't really notice what was happening until it caught onto the house and it was just a big fireball.
Yeah.
Like it was nuts. But
R.I.P. Cat. His cat died.
His cat passed.
But him and his girlfriend got out. Yeah. So, I mean,
so,
R.I.P. Cat and also R.I.P. House. That's
praying
like really
for them,
scary.
send them condolences and stuff. And I mean, it's just crazy how long it's kind of going to take because it's been about 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
And there hasn't been construction or a contractor or really anything over there because we can see. So now it's just sad. It's just a burnt house.
I know.
Like it's just crazy to think about.
It's really surreal to like look into and it like count your blessings.
Yeah.
Because like you look at this and you're like, oh shit, I could see the layout of their house. It's
it's literally,
there's the kitchen and there's their bedroom and whatever. And it's just really, it's
now
like
if you
really
thought
eerie.
I had PTSD of what I almost did here, now I have PTSD of either getting an electric vehicle, if we have a candle in the house, if we have anything, if you accidentally let the stove go without the flame going. Remember how sometimes you just let the gas go? That's the one thing that's super dangerous because you don't really realize it. You're like on the move, and then you put it on low heat and the flame's not going, so gas is kind of just spreading.
So now we're just like on edge. When that happened that night, I was like, we are sleeping with a fire extinguisher next to the bed.
Yeah.
We need to throw out all of these candles right now.
Yeah, we were checking the house. We're like, anything on? Anything on?
Like,
no way.
I didn't sleep at all that night. I felt.
I was up all night. I was so scared.
So there's that.
There's some dust in my eye.
Okay, here's one. It says, why did you choose to not pursue baseball in college? So Corndizzle, if you didn't know, was a pitcher.
Yeah, I played it.
Well,
all right. So what ruined it for me was honestly like my sophomore and junior year of high school.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be me.
No. Well, your schedule too, like going and visiting meets and knowing like you wake up at 5, you have lift, and then you go to class, and then you come back and you have like training, and then you go and then you come back and you have lift. It was like, and then even when I went to Rowan, and remember I went for like some academic stuff and they were telling us what our baseball schedule was going to be. And I was like, dude, no way. I was like, no, I just don't want to I don't love it that much to do this.
Yeah. So basically, like for anybody that has never listened to us before, I went to Monmouth University for track and field. I was a pole vaulter, and like I just was really great. I was in the right place at the right time where I knew I wanted to pursue track. I knew I wanted to pole vault, and I knew I wanted to go to an art and business school because I wanted to do art. Like I went for fine art. So I put myself in a position that I was a D1 athlete, and like you were a D1 athlete, and that's pretty much it. Like you woke up, you lifted, you went to your school, you lifted again, you had a job, went to school, lifted again, and then you woke up and did it all over again. And we were in school like over winter session. Everybody went home for the winter. We were still there training. Like we weren't able to see anybody, like no other baseball games, lacrosse games, basketball, like soccer. Like we couldn't watch any other sports because we were always traveling or training or doing, schoolwork or whatever. So it was very hard. I would never replace that time of my life. I actually loved it. And I definitely think I made the most of it. Like that's why I think that the track team was always regularly messed up and drunk because we were like, oh yeah, we got 5 minutes to spare. Like, let's act like college kids.
Yeah.
So it was hard, but I feel like it kind of like tainted the experience for you because you were like, I just don't want to do that.
Yeah. And then still like where we grew up, it was like, I remember Dad told me one time, like he kind of was just like, listen, you're not going to make it to the majors. Like, he kind of just like set reality into me because everybody that used to play sports where we grew up, their parents thought they were like the next Mike Trout, or like they were going to get into the MLB. And I mean, our parents spent so much money on my travel baseball, and we spent money on my all-stars. So I made all-stars. I played travel baseball, and I was doing all the things to maybe get to like a really good D1 level. But then by like high school and sophomore year and junior year, I didn't really hit my growth spurt until late junior year. So my hips were super, super messed up. I used to be one of the fastest people ever. Well, not people ever, but like fastest baseball players in my school. I could not run for shit. I remember I remember like I was on freshman. I was supposed to play for like JV. And next thing you know, I was like pinch running, and I was like running like this because my hips were so sore, and I just lost it. So like me hitting that growth spurt, me basically like throwing my arm out because I used to pitch and just throw all the time. I hurt my shoulder, and then I kind of just like fell like out of touch with the sport because it wasn't like what it used to be too. So, and I kind of knew like by senior year I started training, and I just fell way more in love with that. I was like thinking about the gym, but like if I'm in a baseball game, I was like, all right, when is this going to be over? I just want to go train, or I just want to go bench or something.
And I was going to say, like, your lifestyle is so much, like, I feel like I wouldn't say I'm chill. Like, I'm chill vibes. Like, I very like on a high maintenance. I always have to be doing something, like whatever. So the whole, wake up and go mentality of like being an athlete was like not a problem for me. And I feel like Cornelius is one of these people that he just is like, bro, not today, man. No. Like when it's like, no, like he just wants to like just vibe and just chill. And Cornelius is not that way. That. So if he was to do baseball, like the whole training game, it's just like Corn just wanted to live life. Man.
Yeah, I just want to live life. I wanted to put like baseball back in the day was cool, but now it's just like it's ridiculous. It takes over your life. So now I just want to chill. I want to stream. I want to play video games. I want to hang out with my girlfriend, do some cool things, and kind of just like continue to live life, except like not stay on one thing forever. That's why, honestly, I really love social media because like I love training. I started my social media training, but also you can do so much more with it. Like you can travel. I can like share moments of like me and Andrea doing stuff, or I can like take some time and go do something that I want instead of just fucking you're a baseball player. This is what you practice. This is what you preach. This is what you do. And this is everything. So
totally. All right. I got 2 more questions and then I'm done. I'm going to save maybe one of the best ones for last, but I got two more questions. So hit me with one.
Hit you with one?
Yeah. Because this one that I have is kind of like off of, I guess, like your job. Well, yeah, it is your job.
In what ways are you jealous of your sibling?
In what ways are you jealous of your sibling?
Yeah.
You got bigger biceps than me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding.
I don't know. Not really jealous. I guess I'm a little.
No offense,
no offense. I don't know jealous. No, the only thing I guess I'm a little bit jealous is how you can make friends.
How I can make friends?
Yes, and how you find like people that are so into your stuff, and you can like go out and kind of like do your thing, or you have like this big group of people that like want to do things with you and for you, and like you have a flocker group, and then you have a bunch of people that go to your races, and then you travel with these certain amount of people, and then you can be like, yo, I wanted to go to the beach, who wants to come? And next thing you know, you have like 5 people hit up your phone. Yeah, I don't have shit.
You can be part of the flocker group.
So I mean, I guess it's a little jealousy, but like, but that's who you are. I'm different. One, you're very like when I go to the gym, I have people that I can like go up and talk to, have a conversation with, but then they kind of know like I just go into my zone and I just like want to train. Your headphones in, you just and then I just leave the gym. I don't like ask people to hang out. I guess it's like my fault too. I don't like go and ask people to hang out or go out of my way to really like want to go and chill or do stuff with people.
Yeah, but that's like, but bro, that's literally also you, because when somebody's like, hey, do you want to go out? You're like, no.
Well, yeah, it's just like, it's like, dang.
Yeah,
it's like, it sounds, but you know me, it's like if I get there, I can start to have a good time. It's like me, it's like getting me to go places. Like
I know you're like that's why like you and Abby are literally siblings. Is
Yeah,
because
it's
y'all
just
are the
like-
fucking same. Because I have to drag your ass to go out.
Yeah, because thinking about it, it's like, one, I don't really care. I wouldn't care if I like people were like, oh, you want to go out to drink? It's like, I can go out and drink and have an awesome time, and then tomorrow literally want to like not do anything because I'm a hungover, weak person. But then I think about it, it's like, I'd rather just stay home. Like, I'd rather just stay home, watch some YouTube videos, stream a little bit, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just don't like
I know.
going out. But there's those people that have to. Because I'm an introvert. I'm a solid introvert. I regain my energy and I do my thing when I'm alone. I
know, but then like you're also not that way. Like, and like people are gonna see this and be like, holy shit, this is Cornelius. Like you are a very outgoing person. It's just like getting you to that point. You know what I'm saying? And like obviously you're my brother, so like you're comfortable shit with me.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna go ride the bull on Friday. Like, it's like fun. But I don't know, like maybe that's just who I am. And it's funny because that's kind of maybe like the opposite of what I was gonna say. Like sometimes I wish I was as chill. Like I feel like I'm on a vibe of like things. Me and Cornelius are on the same wavelengths that like things are like not that big of a deal to
it's
us.
Not serious. It's really not that serious.
We're both like, something will happen in life, and we both look at each other and we're like, no.
Yeah.
Like we're just like,
it's like
okay.
Yeah.
Like cool. Like I don't know. Like sometimes our parents will call us and they'll be bitching about something. And like the other day, Cornelius had to make a dentist appointment, and my mom and dad were like screaming out about it. Yeah. And we're looking at each other.
Love you, parents. They're parents, but then it's just like, come on.
We're like, Cornelius looks at me, he's like, dude, it ain't that serious. I'm like, I know it ain't that serious. But like in general life, like nothing is that serious. And I try my hardest to like live that way, but I'm also a high maintenance human being because I have to be doing things. Mm-hmm. And Corn can literally just like vegetate for a minute and just be like, brother, I'm not moving from this seat right now. No, like this is what it is. And I just like, sometimes I wish I could do that.
Yeah, there's sometimes I literally have to be like, Tracy, relax. Like you mopped the floor 2 hours ago. It doesn't need to be vacuum swept, mopped, like clean. Like go on your computer and go relax for about an hour. Like it can be done in a little bit.
My favorite thing that Corn does to me, like which is on the vibe of like I don't chill the fuck out, is like I'll be talking about something and then I have like ADHD, so like I'll be talking about one thing and then 17 different things will pop up in the same sentence, and Cornelius will be like, can you just shut the fuck up and talk about the first thing that you were talking about before we go on these other things? And I'll be like, okay, you're right.
Yeah, she'll be like, yo, so I hit this dope ass workout. Oh wait, is this like a new energy drink? Like, Whitney. Oh, wasn't Whitney like a part of Gymshark? What happened to Whitney Simmons? Didn't she leave? It's like, Trey, weren't you just talking about your training?
He'll be like, dude, you need to
relax.
Tone it back and relax. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, fine. And then, whatever. So,
that's why I try to get her to smoke weed. But
I used to. I'm just not about that life anymore.
Yeah, she won't. Me neither, honestly. Fucking January Matrix. True. I swear. Bro, I don't know what happened, but now I think I like matured a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I like matured. I don't know if something happened in my body where it was just like, listen, you're not going to be doing this all the time. You're going to be present, and you're going to like not be I don't even know what to call it, but I was just so in like a cycle of things.
Yeah.
That like,
which is so weird.
Yeah, so weird what happened.
So weird.
But I mean, that's the biggest thing, honestly. What mom and dad taught us without really teaching us was like they allow us to do what we want. Obviously, they give us lessons and they have their opinions, but they know that we will figure it out ourselves one day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, they didn't enjoy how much I would like do my thing, right? Mm-hmm. But they weren't bitching about me, because if they bitch about me, I get a little degenerate mindset. Is like, oh, they're bitching about me, I want to do it more.
Yeah.
But they kind of realize like, okay, he will learn. Like he'll learn that this isn't sustainable, or he'll learn that like this isn't going to help him. Exactly. Which is like obviously not the best way. Like you stop once you fuck up, but they won't never let us get to that point. Mm-hmm. It was like, he's going to learn. And that's a big thing that I did. He learned. And then we have a conversation with him. And then maybe mom will chime in with the,
with the eyeballs.
Yeah, like the eyeball. Like I tried to tell you a couple months ago.
You're like, okay.
It was like, yeah, but I gotta teach myself.
Yeah, totally.
So
That's funny as hell.
That's the biggest thing.
All right, so I got one more. So if you want to throw me one more, you can, and then I'll give you this last one, and then we'll call it quits.
Who will win in a lunge contest?
In a lunge contest? Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
Lunges.
Like weight wise?
Hey.
I feel like I'm a little weak ass bitch these days.
It depends on what lunges.
Walking lunges?
Yeah, walking lunges.
I mean, weight wise, you're gonna win. Like distance wise, conditioning wise, I'll probably
Speaking
win.
of, I'm doing a DECA next month.
Is gonna do the DECA
next month.
You got 30 lunges.
I need to tell my coach I'm doing the DECA.
You don't have to tell him that. It's gonna take you 20 minutes. It's not gonna be detrimental.
What if I pull my back?
How about you stop being a little bitch and you just do it? All right, here's the last question, okay? And then we'll get lost and we're gonna go to Kava and go get some good eats.
Yeah, I gotta go train.
What is your favorite childhood memory? Ooh.
What's my favorite childhood memory?
I know, I saw that question. Shout out to Alana. She gave us that question. Good finisher question. But also I was like, oh my God.
There's so many.
There's some childhood, like, do we have to actually be kids, or do you think that childhood just means New Jersey for us? Favorite childhood memory?
Yeah, childhood memory.
Does it have to be together? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
We did a lot of shit together when we were kids.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. Corn and I always used to do stuff when we were kids because we just like where we grew up was like my parents just were like, okay, figure it out and make sure you're home. Mm-hmm. Like make sure you come back. So like we were on the bike path all the time and like rode our bikes to school and like we would knock on our friends' doors and it would just be like 50 of us out in the middle of the street screwing around.
My favorite childhood memory is probably us climbing Deneen's old trees.
Oh yeah, in the backyard.
And when you had a girls' club and I try to dress up like a girl because you wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think that's like just like doing stuff around our house.
Yeah, like just the place that we grew up, just to like, you know, paint the picture. Like I said, it's just kind of like a grid, and there was just a bunch of houses with a bunch of kids, and it would just be a shit ton of us in the middle of the street. It didn't even matter like what age you were. We were just knocking on people's doors, and Corn and I hung out all the time. And there used to be this house next to us that there's a house that's built there, but it was just this huge lot. Yeah. And we just used to
pick up football.
Yeah, like pick up football or like
anything.
Outdoor dodgeball.
It was
or
the
like
biggest,
kickball.
Yeah, it was the biggest field.
Yeah,
everyone just came to.
And you didn't have to ask anything. You would just show up, and it was right next to our house. So we would just kind of like show up, and there would be a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
there.
Look out the window next. Like 10 kids are just outside, just like doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, and there was this huge bike path by our house that you just would go and walk on the bike path, and as you're walking down, like everybody would notice that you were outside, so then you would have a bunch of your friends come outside and just be able to hang out. I think that like when Corn and I were kids, we were given a lot of freedom to, like you said earlier, to kind of like do our thing and find our way. But
there was a time when I was probably like 7 years old, and you guys know, is Rita's everywhere?
Yeah.
Is Rita's everywhere though?
Yeah.
We don't have a Rita's.
Yes, we do.
Rita's ice cream.
Rita's water ice.
Trace, I'll bet you the closest Rita's we have is about 50 miles away.
No way. There's definitely Rita's water ice here.
Rita's water ice. Rita's Italian ice. Yeah, no. Wait. Permanently closed.
Oh, well, I know. Yeah, okay. So Rita's water ice.
We don't have a Rita's around here. But we used to have a Rita's water ice. And well, did you know you can do this on Google Maps? So but I remember when I was like 6 years old or something. We used to live on a corner, and then down the street was a Rita's water ice, and then we had a McDonald's, and we couldn't cross that street until we were like 10 years old or something. I remember we were not allowed to cross that street, Tellon Road. But I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go to Rita's by myself. And I go to Rita's, and Mr. and Mrs. Schulman are at Rita's, and they go, Cornelius, does your mom know you're here? And I'm like a little degenerate. I'm like, yeah, she knows I'm here. I've never seen my mom walk around that corner so fast. Cornelius, what do you think you're doing? Cornelius. And the Shulmans were like, I don't think she knew you were here. But mom was walking around that corner. I was like, oh, also sugar pine. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a memory that just
Sugar Pine was this place that we used to get candy all the time. Oh my God. And you know what I was thinking too? There's just like, so where we lived, like people ask where we live and we're like, oh, Atlantic City, because pretty much everybody that lives where we are from either works in Atlantic City or their parents were dealers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Casino dealers, not, well, maybe drug dealers too, but just, just dealers.
I would just spit out my drink.
Just dealers in general. So, but we actually lived in between Ocean City, Margate, and Atlantic City. Ocean City, Longport, Margate, whatever. The whole nine of the southern East Coast. Yeah, the island. We were like off the island. So you basically took a bridge and then you were there. And like one of my favorite things too is like we used to just go to the boardwalk and we weren't shoobies. So like that was like where we knew where to go. And like especially in the months where it was jam-packed, you know, and there was like beach concerts and all these things, like we were 5 minutes away from like the beach. And so it was so easy for us to just get anywhere and be able to get Johnson's popcorn and Polish water ice and like Corbo's ice cream. And like we were on the boardwalk just like all day.
They just make fun of all the shoobies that just had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And you can tell. You could tell that they were shoobies. Now we're shoobies.
We are we used to go shoobie bowling.
Oh,
we used to take our boogie
bowling.
boards and go into the ocean, and then we would literally like
just run
plow
people over.
It's so go on shoobie bowling.
But we were like fucking 75 pounds.
I know, yeah.
Well, that's still heavy, but we weren't like adults just running people over. We were like little kids on boogie boards, and you just go after some people.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
we were
fun.
we were like if you could just envision like the picturesque beach kids, like our skin has never been darker in our lives.
I'm
were
pale
there.
now, but I used to be tan. I used to be tan with blonde hair.
Long
blonde hair.
Yeah, long blonde hair, just like never wore shoes, never wore anything but like bikinis and board shorts. And he used to surf and I was a landlocked mermaid for my whole life. And I don't know, I think my favorite childhood memory upon like all the kids being outside is just like how easy it was to like just soak up sun by our house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our backyard.
Yeah.
Dude, going on the deck, it was the best place. And then you jump in the pool.
And
Tracy and I used to do a thing where we used to jump on a pool and then we run out of the pool and then we run to our front yard and we run around our front yard a bunch of times and then jump back into the pool. So it was super hot. And we thought we were geniuses.
Yeah, we did.
We thought we were geniuses. We taught Aunt Mary to go underwater while blowing.
Blowing her
nose because she would go underwater. She's like, I get sucked water sucked up my nose.
That was so funny.
So we used to teach her that.
I remember we were in the backyard and not to like get off on a major tangent like we've been doing this whole time, but I remember one time, so we had an above ground pool, and like above ground pools, you know, you get not mold, what the hell is it called?
Algae
like in the pool. And we had this like big stair unit that went in, and it was plastic because it was an above ground pool, so you used to have to take it out at the end of the summer. And we put it in, and my mom literally gave me a brush to like brush. And like when I tell you, this was the scariest shit. First of all, sunflowers are from our New Jersey home, so I just got a tattoo of that. We used to have the biggest sunflowers next to the pool. And I'll never forget, I was under the water with like goggles on with this brush that like my mom told me, like, go underneath and scrape it under. And I guess I was under the water too long. And all I saw was like underwater, this massive fucking like shadow. And mom jumped from the stairs of the porch over the big ass sunflower and was like, whoa, and just picked me up because she thought I was like drowning. And I remember like she picks me up and she like puts me on top of the patio and she's like, are you okay? And I'm like in goggles with this brush that's covered in algae, and I was like, the fuck are you doing?
Dude, doing the stairs was so scary because you thought you were gonna get like stuck behind them.
I know, yeah.
But then next thing you know, our pool was only like 4 foot.
I know.
But we were so like little and stuff, like going behind, like scraping. It was so scary.
But it was like the house we lived in was just really fun. Like it was just very, very fun vibes when we were kids.
Craziest part, you can get from one side to our house to the other side to our house in probably like 10 steps.
Yeah, it wasn't very
big.
From
from our kitchen to our front door.
It wasn't very big.
10 solid steps. Our kitchen probably about 6 steps. Next thing you know, we had a little ass dining room that had one table and then chairs around it where we ate. Then we had our living room and then our door.
Mm-hmm.
And we couldn't use the front door if Dad was home.
You couldn't use the front door. If you walked through the front door and Dad was watching Law and Order, you get beat.
Oh, no. Even if that was the most awkward thing. It was like, oh, fuck. You went through the front door like with our friends, and I'm like, did my dad say anything? Or like, it's like we got so awkward.
Oh my god! Look at all my people are checking in on me.
Yeah, see,
okay, well,
people that check in on you.
I'm gonna end this because my
Look at
friends
my
are gonna think
notifications.
something's going on.
Dry.
But thank you for tuning in and getting to know a little bit about us.
Yeah,
Love
it was
you, bro.
fun. Love you.
We'll always have them on
Keep
the
killing
podcast whenever we want. But
that was an
thanks for coming
hour.
on. It was an hour.
Way more than
Love
an hour.
you.
Love you.
See you soon, BarTalk peeps. Peace out.
Oh my god, what are we doing?